All the content featured in this video falls under the fair use policy under commentary. Thank you. OP characters. Love them or hate them. They exist, and anime is certainly no exception. Hello everybody, my name is Gambit, and welcome to Infamous Energy. Today I wanted to talk about two of anime's most popular characters at the moment. One being Sukuna, and two being Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. But before we get into them, I kinda wanted to talk about the context behind this video. This is in no way of me saying the other characters mentioned in this video are badly written. In fact, I really enjoy all of them. It is just me going into detail about the characters' personal flaws and how having them is what led to their downfall in their own stories. And also how Sukuna and Gojo both lack those same flaws. Now let's get into it. One thing the characters I'm delving into have in common is they run the world they are living in. An immediate example that comes to mind is Madara Uchiha. Madara was a prodigy and reincarnation of a being that was essentially a god. He was known to only be comparable to one other ninja in the shinobi world, this being his rival Hashirama. Madara is an extremely powerful character, one that commands such respect and has such skill that others could train their whole life and still not attain his level. This is the type of character that protagonists and other characters will train hoping to reach that peak, but almost none ever will. Everyone remembers back to when Madara was first reanimated. He took on hundreds of ninja from the shinobi forces by himself and didn't even break a sweat. Especially considering he was primarily only using hand-to-hand combat, this was extremely impressive. In that moment, myself, and I'm sure many others had realized things were about to get serious. When he was on screen, my eyes were glued to it, but no character is perfect. In a story where having allies is always said again and again to be important, Madara secluded himself. The only people he trusted being Hashirama and his brother were gone, either killed off or pushed away by him. In the end, all he had was Zetsu, who he was only interested in using as a tool. In Madara's effort to be the strongest, he shut everyone else out, leaving no one to help him when he inevitably got betrayed in the end. Sosuke Aizen. Once known as a captain, a leader, and a protector. For a time at least. But if there was one word I would use to describe Aizen, it would be patient. He waited for years and years plotting, making the perfect plan, taking down both friend and foe in the process. After staging his own death, the Soul Reapers mourned. To some he was a mentor, to others a parental figure. It wasn't until we neared the conclusion of Bleach's first big arc when we finally got to see the real Aizen, the one who staged his own death. I still remember this quote to this day.
潰さないようにアリを踏むのは力の加減が難しいんだ.
After being revealed to be a traitor, Aizen was circled by almost every captain and lieutenant available, but not until after he took down both the story's protagonist Ichigo and his close ally Renji with extreme ease. And even after all of that, he didn't even receive a scratch. Aizen was shown to be a mastermind on another level. Everyone was upon his game of chess and he kept winning again and again. Even when his closest ally betrayed him to take his life, he still came out on top. Aizen's downfall eventually came when he was challenged head-on by Ichigo. Aizen was now a former version of himself, transformed by the Hogyoku. A version of himself who didn't fully understand and know his own desires. He at a time wanted to be the best and became that, but subconsciously subdued himself to his loneliness. He lost his resolve and became unsure of himself. Because of this, even with a tool that manifests whatever fate you desire, he still lost. He wanted to lose at heart, hence why he was defeated by Ichigo even with the Hogyoku. He certainly was very smart, but he did not have the certainty he needed to remain on top, eventually leading to his capture. Makima, the Control Devil. Makima is a character that is capable of stopping devils and hunters in their tracks simply by believing she is above them. Spending most of her time pretending to be human, Makima worked on manipulating those around her, mainly an individual she meets named Denji. She aimed to build him up and make his dreams come true, only to make his life collapse at the snap of a finger, allowing her to take his heart. Doing so would allow her to control the Chainsaw Devil, thus giving Makima the ability to erase even the concept of a devil in the first place. Makima has many tricks up her sleeve. She is able to control those she deems inferior, point her fingers to someone and use them as guns, use an invisible pressure to crush an opponent, completely flattening them, and she can use other devils she gained control over as one, allowing her to see into the future. But probably her most famous ability would be her contract, allowing her to essentially be immortal. Whenever Makima is attacked by something that could be deemed fatal, the appropriate illness or effect will be transferred randomly to a Japanese citizen. Essentially, she uses all of Japan as her meat shield. So needless to say, even a bullet in the head is not going to be able to take her down. She is almost unkillable. Almost. Makima's nature is to underestimate those around her, but that is also what makes her flawed. The one who ends up exploiting this is Denji. Makima keeps track of people of interest by their scent. She recognizes just about everyone as long as she took an interest in them, but she fails to recognize Denji's. She just didn't care enough to. He was simply a means to an end. She knows the scent of the Chainsaw Devil living inside Denji, but when the two are separated, Denji is able to move around freely without being detected by her. She is caught off guard by this, thus putting her out of commission. In the end, even after all she had done to him in hopes of crushing him, Denji still loved Makima and deemed his final attempt at stopping her an act of love, not one of violence. In the end, he was able to bypass her immortality. Makima needing to control those around her made her lack the emotions and relationships she really desired in the end. She physically was incapable of doing anything else, but she still longed for the ability to do so. Once her life came to an end, that was when the control devil Makima could do so no more. These three characters had their flaws. Madara had no one close to trust, Aizen couldn't understand his own desires, and Makima simply wasn't able to form the bond she really wanted. But now, finally, it's time to get into the real topics of this video, Sukuna and Satoru Gojo. Sukuna, also known as the King of Curses. We've seen it said and done again and again, a character with an inner demon or spirit, and Itadori Yuji is no different. But one difference about this demon is that Sukuna makes up one of the two strongest characters we've seen in the entire series. Even from the beginning, when Itadori hadn't even consumed 5 fingers, Sukuna was easily able to eliminate other special grades. That was to show just a shred of his power. As the story continued, we saw Sukuna become more and more himself, like in the Shibuya incident. At 15 fingers consumed, he took over Itadori's body, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Some characters automatically kneel in his presence, and some don't decide to move because they've been threatened by him. This character is just so much fun to watch by simply being himself. Like when he started getting more serious when fighting Maharaga, not only did he showcase he's a smart and analytical combatant, but showing more of his gaudy personality as well. One of his notable moments at this point in the show was after he fought a very one-sided battle against Jogo. Jogo, who was able to stomp on grade 1 sorcerers in the past, now getting dragged through the dirt was exciting to see. But what really stood out to me was what Sukuna said to Jogo after he defeated him.
群れとして寄り合いで自らの価値をなっていく。お前打算も計画もなく行き着くまで未来も死も見とる上。
It's moments like these that really show how fully realized a character like Sukuna is. He knows he has the power and that he's able to attain it by simply going for it. He set his aim and went for it full throttle, and that's why he's such a threat in the world of JJK. And similar things can be said for his good guy counterpart. Gojo certainly isn't the most overpowered character we've ever seen in anime, but in the world of JJK, he is the best. You can look anywhere on YouTube and find him being matched up against another character. He is quite a popular topic of conversation. Not only does he have an extremely powerful form of hacks with Limitless, but he even has the ability to heal himself and to restore his own energy. At the end of the day, he isn't that complex, yet the charisma of this character is so in your face that you can't help but smile when he is on screen. Gojo and Sukuna share very similar qualities. They each knew what they wanted to accomplish, and instead of making excuses or overcomplicating it, they went for it and got where they wanted to be. Rarely, if ever, have I seen in an anime where the strongest character from the get-go is not an antagonist of some sort, or at least is a part of the main cast, but that's the thing. We are supposed to root for Gojo. He's not only a teacher to future sorcerers, but also the character others aspire to be and rely on when needed. He even stands up to what would be the JJK government. Instead of backing down, he is confident in himself with the ability to stop others from halting Yuji's potential, for instance. He has the power to back up any talk he brings to the fight. Just like I said with Sukuna, he is simply so fun to watch. While they both are extremely powerful, they are not invincible. We have seen each of these characters take losses before. When Sukuna was first introduced and only had the power of one finger, Gojo wiped the floor with him. No matter how confident or skilled Sukuna was in a past life, he was simply outmatched at this point. But he began to use what time he could muster to begin to break Yuji, and even managed to pack with him to attempt to gain the advantage. Sukuna has been in some rough spots, but Gojo has suffered some losses as well. Gojo was sealed in Shibuya, effectively shifting the balance of the world of JJK. But for me personally, even when we saw Gojo fall and get captured, it still didn't feel like a failure. Gojo knew exactly what he wanted to accomplish in the moment and understood the risks. He used his domain expansion and in the blink of an eye eliminated hundreds of threats to citizens he wanted to protect. Moments like these add more to their characters even more. They are fully realized and wear their personalities on their sleeves, but still show they aren't invincible. So what makes Sukuna and Gojo so well written compared to the other characters on this list? Me personally, I really like the fact that not only are they extremely powerful, but they can still be defeated. On top of that, they are such fully realized characters that you can put them in any scenario and pretty much picture exactly how they would respond. They know what they wanted and how to achieve it and didn't even bother asking twice. And on top of that, they wear their personalities on their sleeves the entire time, making it so entertaining just to have them there. Those qualities are why I think Sukuna and Gojo are so well done. I wanted to reiterate that I really love and enjoy all the characters I talked about in this video, and honestly just really wanted the chance to talk about them all. As for JJK, I am not yet caught up in the manga at this point, but I do have a rough idea of what is coming our way in the future, and I am excited to see how everything unfolds. That is it for today's video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have a favorite overpowered anime character? Let me know. Tell me why you like them so much down below. If you made it to the end of the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out and I really appreciate it. I will see you in the next one.